There has been breaking news over the past 40 minutes that the body of a teen has been found in the search for Jay Slater. Now, at the time of recording, of course, the body has not been confirmed, so we cannot say for a fact that it is Jay Slater's body, but we are going to take a look from a quick interview from GB News to get the full story and the full scoop on what this is all about.
Charlie, what do we know?
Well, the civil guard, the gendarmerie of Tenerife, that's been taking the lead in this investigation since it started 4 weeks ago today, have said now in a statement delivered via Reuters that they have found a lifeless body of a young man in the Masca area. Now, Masca is the village where Jay Slater is reported to have travelled to on June the 16th, the Sunday evening before he went missing after that NRG festival in the south of the island. They said that all indications indicate that it could be the young British man who went missing for 29 days. So
now, we again do not know for a fact that this is Jay Slater. It's said that it could be him, and it strongly indicates that it most likely is his body, but we just do not know for a fact because, of course, the body has not been confirmed as of yet.
No official confirmation on the identity of this body that they have found in the northwest area of Tenerife, in the Rural de Teno National Park, where, of course, the significant search operation was launched almost 4 weeks ago, because the day after the missing persons report was made, we did see those search and rescue teams deployed. Now, that original search and rescue operation lasted for 2 weeks. Now, on Saturday, the 29th of June, they had that significant final push operation, as it was termed, that call for volunteers. But since then, there has been no official searching. The investigation continued, but they canned their main specialist mountaineering operation effort in the northwest of the island. They said that they were keeping their eyes and ears open to other leads involved. So this is the first significant update since that period 2 weeks ago when they pulled off the official search.
Charlie, when this story first broke, it was shocking, and we covered it day after day after day. There were teams out scouring that very rocky, mountainous landscape.
I mean, there was a whole GoFundMe created for this whole search, and for people to go out and to be basically funded, like their accommodation, to help assist in the search. Now, obviously, there was a bit of controversy around that whole GoFundMe from the get-go, but also with TikTokers who have come over from the UK and ended up leaving the search because they never got paid a penny for doing the search.
And then the teams seemed to suggest that they lowered the intensity of the search in the countryside and perhaps suggested, at least, they were looking at other leads in the towns, in the urban conurbations of the island. But perhaps they were on the right track in the first place.
Yeah, and the suggestion that was being made at the time as to why they had pulled off that search is because they had done everything possible in the area. Now, unlike what you might have found during British search and rescue operations for missing persons, the civil guard in Tenerife were very limited in their press updates. They never held a press conference. Information we got was through snippets gathered by journalists on the ground and also just purely from watching them in their actions.
Now, Charlie, we're just hearing reports that the Spanish police are saying that Jay Slater could have suffered an accident or a fall. Now,
obviously, based off of the remains, there will be an autopsy taking place. If this is confirmed to be Jay Slater, I mean, like, there will be an autopsy regardless, but if this is Jay Slater, we might actually get some indications as to whether there was foul play, whether this was truly just an accident, or whether it was something else. So, you know, let's hope that we get some definitive answers off the back of this.
At this stage, we don't know 100% whether these human remains belong to Jay Slater, the missing teenager. The police saying all indications point to the fact that it is, but we await that confirmation. Presumably, they'll have to do a DNA test.
Yeah, that'll be the next stage to determine the identity of the remains they found. And referring to that fall or the potential of an accident taking place leading to the recovery of these remains, in the statement they do refer to an inaccessible area. And Tom, that points back to the terrain that you raised. So many of the operations that we saw at the start of the search were with drones, not with people, because a lot of the terrain they were seeking to cover, the ground they wanted to investigate, was inaccessible by foot. And it is a rocky area. It's not like some of the search operations we saw 2 months ago in Simi, on that Greek island near the coast of Turkey, which was, more undulating. This is significantly more treacherous terrain, and going off the path as he reportedly did, Jay Slater, according to friends who took phone calls from him, as indeed the location on his phone seemed to indicate, did bring a significant degree of danger. So we did see those specialist teams brought in, not only from the island, but also from Madrid. They got reinforced in the second week of the search from specialist groups, drones, helicopters, and sniffer dogs. And we also saw them moving into the valley in that second week of the search, into potential caves and any other area where those remains could have been located today.
Well, we're looking at some of the terrain on our screens now of the search as it was a couple of weeks ago. We can see the fairly arid nature of the land. There have been rocks and caves and steep angles and sharp drops as well. So the case of, if this was indeed a teenager trying to get home from a party, walked the wrong way, went off the road, slipped and fell or tipped off the edge of a steep ledge, that would seem to make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it would. We'll wait, of course, for the DNA confirmation and further information from the Civil Guard, but all the indications from the original reports from Jay's friends, we heard regularly from a young woman called Lucy about the penultimate phone call he made at the time. Another friend came forward saying that he heard him slipping on rocks. That also supports this theory that he'd gone off the main path there. But it was an 11-hour walk that he was attempting to make, reportedly, according to reports of those original phone calls, from the northwest back to the south, where his accommodation was. 1% battery on his phone. There was also reports of a cut on his leg from the local, was it a cactus that he'd come into contact with. So a really treacherous situation that he was in at the time.
Now, the biggest question here is, the Tenerife police were, of course, searching for, I believe it was around 2 weeks before they called off the search, right? But this Dutch search and rescue team have come in, and within 48 hours, they have found remains of a body. How could the police not find it, but this Dutch team managed to find it within 2 days? Begs questions, right? Now,
this development, it was only a few hours ago, actually, that his mother gave a statement addressing some of the, the nastier conspiracy theories.
She said they were vile conspiracy theories.
Yeah, to then have her make that statement and then for this news to come out.
Yeah, it must be an appalling time for the family who've remained on the island, supported by online funded efforts to maintain their accommodation and also just food. I mean, the cost of living on a holiday island in the peak of summer is not easy. And also they had supported a new search team, a Dutch organisation.
Yeah.
They reportedly already had 4 or 5 people deployed on the ground with their sniffer dogs, decades of experience from this not-for-profit specialist search group. Another person was due out to fly today, but obviously don't know if they are involved in this new update from the Civil Guard, who had reportedly called off their on-the-ground search effort after that major 2-week push. So Debbie Duncan, Jay's mother, saying yesterday that vile conspiracy theories were impossible to avoid because they had just covered so much of the social media sleuthing and indeed much of the journalistic coverage of the search and rescue operation, because after they called off that search, the Civil Guard, but said they were open to alternative leads, that did then bring in amateur sleuths and investigators who'd flown out not only to support the family but also on their own back to put forward their own theories and their own speculation. But at this time, the latest information we have is that remains have been found, potentially, of the young British man Jay Slater, who went missing 4 weeks ago today.
There you go. So that is the latest on the whole Jay Slater situation. Like I say, it has not been confirmed at all that this is in fact Jay, but it strongly suggests that it could be. But of course, if this is the remains of another person and it's not Jay, of course the search continues. But it does beg the question of what happened to this person. So I will go try my best to keep you guys updated as best I can as this story develops, but be sure to drop a like if you have found this video informative, subscribe if you are new and be kept up to date, and tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload videos to this channel. Until next time, guys, I hope that you have, well, found this video informative. Cannot wait to see you in the next one, and I'll speak to you later. Peace.